to you all. How are you doing today? It is a beautiful bright day here in Merseyside. The sun is shining. It's a little bit chilly, but when you're in the sunshine, it's really lovely and warm. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We can make jewellery, but us beaders have many skills. So today we're going to do a little bit of home decoration in theme and preparation for Halloween and autumn in general. So I'm going to be showing you how to make some lovely wall hangers. You can put them on your door. I've had mine centre of my wreath on my front door. You can make little decorations to add on. You can play about with the charms that are on offer. So you could make a pair of earrings. You could make yourself a little spider. We could turn that into a brooch. The possibilities are endless. So if you fancy something other than making jewellery, you might want to have something very pretty on the wall instead. Then we're going to get right to it today, and we're going to make a lot of lovely little things. We've got so many beautiful products on the website in regards to Halloween and Christmas themed items. So I just wanted to have a little bit of a play about today, using some jump rings, using some memory wire, maybe even some wire as well. I've got a 0.6 and a 0.4 that I'll probably have a bit of a dabble with today, but I thought we'd just have a little play and see what happens. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody, and then I'll take us over to the website and you can see all the goodies with discount today. So hello to Tutu. She says hello, Natalie and everybody. Hi, Deezin. Good morning to Elaine. There's a knock on my door, but I'm going to ignore it. Do apologise for that. Good morning to Camille. She says good morning, Natalie, from a dull and grim looking linen, I think that's pronounced. Good morning to Debbie, and hello to Anne. So let's go over to the website and let's have a little look at what we've got for you today. Lots of lovely things, and you can do all sorts with these. So if you are not sure where to find us, we're on totallybeads.co.uk. I'm wondering why somebody is still at my front door. Don't they know it's 10 o'clock and we're live on Totally Beads? So we're going to go down to video tutorials, have a little click, and today we have the Halloween decorations. So you can see a little sneaky peek of this on my front door at the moment. Look at all these gorgeous charms. So as I say, you can usually make earrings with these, really simple, but really cute. I love those little mummies. They're so lovely. You could also make charm bracelets with these, but you can also add these onto other decorations as well. You could even just wear them as a pendant. Now, I always think my little one gets an awful lot of sweeties when it comes to trick or treating. Wouldn't it be nice to maybe gift these to your friends and family or trick or treaters as well? Look at the price of them. They've been reduced today, so you can get those gorgeous little black enamel pumpkin cats. You're getting 2 pieces for 80 pence. So that's 40 pence a charm. We've got the lovely little ghosts. We've got ghosts with pumpkins and little devil horns on, which are really cute. You've got your ginger cat pumpkins. They are also 80 pence. We've got some enamel Halloween charm little ghosts with little witches brooms. They've been reduced, so you can get 2 pieces for £1 and 4 pence. I love these mummies. They're so lovely. I don't have any mummies with me today, but I just think they're really cute. So there's lots of different charms you can choose from. These are absolutely stunning, these little coffins. They've got a gorgeous little cross and a little diamante on the middle of them as well, or the little kind of beveled edge. They're really sweet, and a gorgeous enamel colour on them. So we've got silly snowmen. These are lovely as well. I'm loving those ones. And all we need to do today is use a little bit of memory wire. So I'm using a larger set of the memory wire. In terms of size, your memory wire today, which I'm going to be creating that shape with, it's 115 millimeters in diameter, and it's 0.6 millimeter. So it's strong and it's sturdy. It's tempered steel, so it's going to hold that shape, but also it's fairly easy to work with and turn those loops. I often find turning memory wire can be a little bit tricky, but this is very straightforward. And your memory wire today is £1. So an absolute bargain. I would suggest, if you want to make the door wreath, get yourself a couple of charms, get some jump rings in. You can make a little chain so you can use the jump rings to make that chain to hang it on. You get a little bit of memory wire for £1, and then look at these beautiful beads. So we've got a Halloween mix and a summer mix, but I'm using the summer mix, excuse me, because to me, they are very much pumpkin coloured, and I think will tie in really, really lovely. They are lovely wooden beads. They are large, but they are lightweight. And when on the frame, they hold that shape as well when we put that on the memory wire. So that's what we're going to be using to create the frame. They are £2.50, and they're, as I say, very large. You're getting plenty on there. There's enough on that string to create that full loop. And then if we've got time, which I think we will because it's a very quick make, I'm going to be using these absolutely gorgeous silver foil disc beads. So I'm using one large one and one slightly smaller one. The smallest 40p, the larger one's 50p, and I'm going to create some spiders with them. I've popped in some seed beads if you want to use them for the legs, but you can use any beads you've got. You can use seed beads in any size really. It's going to go over that wire. I'm using the 0.6 for that, and I'm going to show you some that I've got on my desk now. I've got one spider. He's looking a little bit worse for wear, but he's been on my front door now for about 2 years, and he's still got a lovely, lovely colour to him, and he's still in good shape. So they're all the different products today. We've not put a kit together necessarily. We're just going to have a little play about, and you can have a little look what you like and what you might want to get and make along with me today. So let me see what I've missed in the comments. I said good morning to our Camille, hello to Anne, hello to Joe, good morning to Mina, hello to Anne in a sunny Perth. The sun's gorgeous today. Good morning to Sharon. Right, okay, so it's pronounced Lineham, says Camille. Okay, Lineham, is that right? Okay, thank you. Rubbish at pronouncing places. Good morning to Bobby. How are you, my lovely? I hope your necklaces are coming on a treat. Good morning to Joy. Hello to Francis. Mina says I should get a coffin charm to scare my mother-in-law. Mentioning nothing there, Mina. Lucy says, good morning, everybody. I didn't get notified this morning. We have had some technical issues with the streaming site that we use, so our notifications may also be playing up. I don't know whether that's on the streaming site's part or Facebook part, but if we're not going to be here, we'll always pop a comment on Totally Beads and we will let you know. But I'm going to be back with you on Monday as well. I'm going to be making these little pumpkin pendants with you on Monday. Don't know if you can see that too well. It's not showing up, but they're very, very sweet. So we're going to continue on with the Halloween theme, but we'll be back to jewellery by Monday. Sheila says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Jo says she's been making Halloween decorations, so she's going to stock up on these charms at this price. Thank you, Jo. They are a bargain today. They have been discounted for you. If you want to just make a little pair of earrings with them, you're going to get 2 in your pack. So you can make your earrings, you can make your bracelets, your pendants. The possibilities are endless. Good morning to Angela. Hello to Celia. She says she's made it for the first time in ages. Well, thank you for joining us. Lucy's loving the pumpkin necklace. Thank you, Lucy. And Trina is saying good morning from sunny Denmark. So I've got lots of you in, which is lovely. Camille's asking how come I've got the sun. I don't know. It doesn't happen very much up north, Camille. So it's nice that we've got it. We also had the moon still out this morning, so maybe we've just got everything. So I'm going to take you down on the mat and I'm going to show you just some of the things that I've been making with the Totally Beads Lovelies. So we've got a selection of the gorgeous enamel charms. They're really, really cute. There's an awful lot to choose from. Yes, Angela, I will take the necklace off at the end and you can have a closer look. There's a variety of different stones you can choose from and wire as well. So these are the little coffins I just think are so pretty. It's like a very deep blood red colour. Very, very suited, I think, for this time of year. But they're just really cute. On the website, we've also got lots of little skulls as well. So you can buy the hematite ones, which are like these. And they are also lovely as little earrings. They are top to bottom drilled. They also come in a range of colours if you'd like these kind of dyed howlite looking ones. They're really, really cute. And I used to just pop them straight onto little pins and make some little dangly earrings. I did these a lot last year with you. We were making these little bracelets too last year, just a little bit of elastic. So I think I had a little play about with them then. And you can also buy the large ones too. So they would be really cute just to hang in the centre. You could, I think they're probably going to be a little bit heavy to be making a lot of jewellery with, but you could just pop them on earrings. You could get yourself a little bead cap and you can make like a little sugar skull with that. You could make large earrings. It is Halloween, so it's the time to go big and to go bold. I was playing about a little while ago just with some pins to make my little skeleton. I don't know where the other one is. I think he's still hanging on last year's decorations. I just made little dangly fingers from him to dangle. They're just made with little eye pins, little head pins. These little connectors were in the Billy bracelet that we made quite a while back, and I thought they'd make sweet little ribs. But they would make lovely little key rings, or you can hang them and dangle them on the door frame, whatever you like. You could even have him as a big pendant or a big necklace as well. Jo says she's bought loads of those skulls and she loves them. And Mina says she uses these to make necklaces. Angela says the coffins look better in the flesh, so to speak. Good pun, Angela. They do. I think you just see that absolute beautiful enamel finish on it. Absolutely gorgeous. And obviously, if you were hanging them in the middle of a decoration like this, you can get the two and they will fit nicely back to back. So if that swings round, you'll then get to see it on both sides. In regards to my spiders, this is my little spider. He's my tarantula, and I made him at least 2 years ago now. So I was delighted when Totally Beads got these silver foil beads in. They remind me of toffee. I just love them. But I think you could make a very sweet little tarantula with him. You could even add on the cat charms that we made last live. What day are we on now? Is it Friday? So was it Wednesday we made the cat charms? You could even dangle them off them if you wish. What else have I got to show you? These are gorgeous colour as well. Absolute abundance. This is one that I've made using the seed beads for legs. Really, really easy to do. I am an arachnophobe, but I do think these are very pretty, and they're really easy if you want to turn them into a brooch as well. So you can scale these up, make them smaller or larger, depends how long you want the legs. These are just little Toho seed beads. I think these ones are size 8s. And all that is just making little loops. I'll show you how to make them, and then just adding your beads on and attaching them in the middle. They're really straightforward to make. However, if you'd like a spider with more delicate spindly legs, this is just making them without the beads and with a 0.4 wire. You could probably do a 0.5 as well, but I think 0.4 is really nice, and it just twists lovely as well to give that little bit of detail. So absolutely lots to make today. I'm going to start off with the window or door or wall hangers. So they're really, really cute. I've literally just popped some jump rings onto these. So this will dangle in the middle. I've attached 2 charms onto the middle. little pussycat pumpkin on the end. So you can see these wooden beads, this is your summer mix, but I just think they're perfectly pumpkin coloured. And this is your Halloween mix. So you've got your blues, your your purples, your whites and your blacks amongst that gorgeous orange as well. And they look really nice and they hang lovely too. And Lucy has shared the link today, so thank you for that, Lucy. We are totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials/Halloween decorations. Janice is saying she doesn't have a problem with spiders, which is really good. I'd like to think I'm getting a bit better, but I'm not too sure. So I'm going to move some of my lovely little creepy things out of the way just to get us a little bit of space. You can stay there, Mr. Spider, and you can stay there, Mrs. Spider. So I'm going to take my memory wire, which will come in its coil. It is a tempered steel, so it remembers that shape and it holds that shape. Now, we've used it before, but usually we tend to get the smaller sized loop and we make it as bracelets, and it's fantastic for bracelets because you can make that coiled effect up your arm like a multi-strand bracelet. But they're also perfect for making little decorations out of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one loop and I'm going to go just past that center point. So if one loop is there, I'm just going to make it a tiny little bit bigger, maybe a couple of centimeters. So I've got one full loop. Angela says those beads look bigger than I thought. They are lovely, lovely shaped, lovely wooden round beads, very, very large, and they're just going to make your door hanger look beautiful. So when we're cutting our memory wire, we don't want to be using our normal cutters. If you're using your jewellery cutters like this, what's going to happen, because it's so hard, it's going to start to put little dinks in your pliers, and we don't want that. So you want to get yourself a pair of proper sturdy cutters. These are Beadsmith, and we have them on the Totally Beads website, and they are brilliant for cutting through memory wire. If you don't have them, don't worry. For a long time, I used to just raid the toolbox. So as long as there's some heavy duty ones, you'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to just move that out of the way because I've just managed to tangle myself up. So there you go. I've got one full circle and a tiny bit extra, and I'm going to cut with my sturdy pliers, and that's how easy it is to cut when you've got proper pliers. Hi Nicole, she says just turning in. Hope I didn't miss much. You haven't missed anything, we're just getting started. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to turn one loop. I'm not putting loops on both ends because I want to be able to slide my beads on. So I'm just going to take my pliers, my usual round nose, and I'm going to make quite a large loop. So I'm going to move, I would say, midway point on my round nose, and I'm just going to start to turn it in just like I would do making any wrap or any little loop. And they're really easy to turn having this memory wire. I would usually say it can be quite difficult, but the 0.6 is great. You don't have to put that much pressure on it. And now I'm just going to choose my beads. So I think I'm going to use the spring ones. Or do I use the Halloween? I'll use the spring coloured ones at the moment because I think they're very sweet and very pumpkin-like. So all I'm going to do is unattach that from my string. I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm even going to use these little stopper beads on the end. So you've got a smaller wooden bead on the end of your string. So I'm just going to take that off. Where have I put my cutters? And I just think they're nice just to start and finish it off. So I'm going to pop on that smaller little wooden bead, which is on that strand. And then I'm just simply threading them on. So you can change the order of your colour if you want. I quite like the order that they come on the string. So we've got that lighter kind of yellowy orange, that very vibrant pumpkin orange, and then the plain wooden bead. So all I'm doing is just sliding them on. Couldn't be any easier. You can make yourself a festive door hanger or window hanger in about 5 minutes. Yes, Mina, thank you for that. She's saying if you want to make a smaller one, you can use the different memory wire as well. We've got lots of different memory wire, different sizes and different gauges on the Totally Beads website. I think these are just a nice size because I've put it inside my wreath. So I tend to change up my door each season. So of course I have a Christmas and festive one. I have an Easter themed one, which has got like little blossoms on. They are just artificial, those. And then I have an autumn wreath. So I've made my autumn wreath this year using, there's all sorts on there. There's little pumpkins on it. There are some lovely colourful leaves. There's all sorts. So I thought these would look really sweet in the middle. And again, you can dangle your spiders off them or in the middle if you prefer as well. So I'm just adding on my wooden beads, just adding them on directly off the string so they go in the same order. And they've got a lovely large hole in these wooden beads as well, so they just fit on very, very nicely. So I'm just thinking, do I add an extra one onto there? Let me just take this little wooden one off. You don't have to use these wooden ones, but I do think they look quite nice. I think that would give me enough with a loop. If I wanted to, I'm not going to change that colour order. Yeah, okay, so one more would be enough. So I've still got some little extras over. You could turn them into little pumpkins or something. And now I'm just going to turn my loop on this side as well. So I'm going to pop in my round nose pliers. I think that might be a little long, so if I need to, I can just give it a little trim. Just make sure you're holding on to what you're cutting off, and then make sure you slide your beads all the way up. So I'm just going to pop my thumb on the end of that while I pick it up. Now, usually when I'm turning a loop on a memory wire, I always go in the direction of the wire and I try and work with it. So it's curving this way, my loop I would curve in. However, I want these to be sticking upwards. So I'm going to pop my round nose plier in and I'm just going to give it a little twist back. And you don't have to worry whether they're perfectly closed or not, because those little wooden beads are going to stop that sliding off. If you need to reposition it, you can do. Just pop in your pliers and give it a little twist. So I've already made that lovely little circle, and it's just about now what I'm going to dangle off it. So I'm going to find my centre. I'm going to pop it round about there, I think. And then I'm going to start bringing these together. So I'm going to choose my charms. I think I'm going to have to go for the little orange pumpkin cat. Do I add a ghosty on too? Or do I carry on with the pumpkin cats? The hardest thing is just deciding what to add on. Okay, I'm going to add a little ghosty onto that one. And I'm going to make him dangle in the middle. So on this one, excuse me, that's my ruler. I've just hung that pumpkin off the top so it dangles in the middle. If you want to have him longer, so he's more central, I'm just going to add jump rings to make that little charm dangle in the centre, and I'm going to put 2 of the same on. So if he flips round, if I'm putting him outside, if he flips round in the wind, you'll see him from both sides. So I'm going to use 2 of those. And Victoria's asking, what do we need to order to make the spider? So for me, the spider I've used, you could use any beads, but I would get those beautiful two of these lovely little foil beads. So this one was 50p and that one was 40p. If you want to make one like this with the beaded legs, I've just squished him under my pliers, so do excuse his legs. You can reshape him. If you wanted to use one with the beaded legs, then I would go for a 0.6mm wire, which is also on the website. If you wanted to make him with the spindly legs, then I'd go for a 0.4mm wire, and you can choose whatever coloured wires you like with that. I will make him for you just a little bit later. Add the bead before you add the charm. Oh, okay. That's Mina's tip. Add a bead before you add the charm. We could do that. Yeah, that's no problem. So I'm going to get my jump rings out. And I've got these lovely large jump rings. And I'm just going to open it up. Where have I put my other pliers? There they are. I've got all sorts all over my desk today. Going to give it a little turn to open. And I'm just going to link both of those loops we've made through that jump ring, and that's going to bring them together. And then I can close that up. Now you can put a ribbon on this. You could create, a little piece of string. You could do all sorts to hang that off. But you could also, if you've just got a nail on the door or on the wall, then you can hang that jump ring directly from that as well. So now I'm going to attach my little charm. So I'm going to make it dangle. So all I'm going to do is open up my jump ring and add another one in. I'm going to make it quite long, so I'm just going to make sure that they are closed over. So just by attaching those jump rings together, I can start to create that length that I'd like. And he will swing around, which is lovely. So depending on the size or where you want him to hang, you just need to add those extra jump rings to it. Opening up my jump rings. And then attach that onto my others. So I'm creating like a little chain. And again, you can add that at the top too, if you want that to dangle down a little bit longer. So I'm going to attach my charm. I'm going to do 2 onto this one. And then I'm going to attach that onto the middle. So let's see whereabouts he'll hang. I think that's long enough. So I'm just going to open up that top jump ring and attach that on. Now what I'm going to do when I attach this jump ring is where my loops meet, I'm going to put it through both of those loops. So as that circle joins together, there will be a little space in between both of those loops. And I'm just going to hook that jump ring. I'll put it on and then I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see. I'm going to hold the jump ring, open that a little bit more. So I'm just positioning it through the hole in between those loops when I bring them together. And then I can close that up. And my little cat is going to dangle nicely in the middle. And then I can put some extra ones on the end as well. If I wanted to, I think I might do 2 little ghosties coming off the end there. Should I? Why not? So again, I'm just going to get my jump rings out. I'm using the rhodium plated ones, just because I think they look lovely together and a little bit spooky. But if you wanted, you could make sure that you're using gold to match your gold enamel charms, or black, or whatever it is you want. I'm going to say that's the circle, the centre. So I'm going to pop my jump ring on. I'm going to open that quite wide and just attach that on. And check that's closed properly. He'll then dangle facing forwards. Should I put another little one on? Why not? So I'm just opening up my jump ring by pulling it towards me. Ooh, Sharon says hang one a bit longer than the other. That would be a good idea. So I could add some. Okay, let's do that. See, this is why I like sometimes not having a plan and just having a little bit of create with you. So you can give me an idea and we can just see what it looks like. And they're so quick to do. If I don't like it, I can just take it off. I can reposition things really easily. So again, just opening up my jump rings. Just make sure your jump rings are closed properly. So if you're just adding them on, that they aren't opened up already, just go through and just check them. I like this idea, Sharon. I think that's nice. I've put these on evenly because I want them to, and to say if it flips, you'll see it on both sides. But I think having these dangling at different lengths could be quite nice. So I'm just going to open that jump ring quite wide. Just push it through the little gap between the beads. And close that back over. Add on my little charm. And there we have it. Our little dangling wreath, which I think if I had another one, I'd add another one there. I think it'd be better with it being more symmetrical. Put the ghosty on and then I could put another cat on. You can play about, you can see my mind's just whizzing now. There's loads that you could do. And you can also hang, if you want, a little beaded spider in it or from it. It's entirely up to you. Lucy says it's very cute. Heidi says that would look nice as a Halloween dream catcher. It would catch your nightmares, Heidi. So that is how easy it is to create these lovely little door or wall hangers. You've got a gorgeous choice of mix of your beads today, your wooden beads. So as I say, this is your Halloween colour with your blacks and your purples. They go with my nails, really lovely. And we've got one which is named Summer Mix as well. But I think they're very pumpkin-like. So I'm going to move those out of the way. I'm going to have a little sip of my drink. And now we're going to make some little spiders. So I will show you how to make both types. So we're going to start with this gorgeous toffee coloured one. And I'm going to get myself some 0.6 wire. Now, it doesn't really matter how much you've got. If I can find that ruler that I dropped, we can measure it out perfectly. But you don't have, you can just do this by eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut myself a little length. If you want to, you can add your beads on first, and then you know exactly how much you need and that you're not wasting too much. So I'm going to pop a little glass pearl in there too, just to give me a little bit of space in between my beads. And I'm going to make a little wrap loop at the top, so I can hang him directly from whatever I want to. So I'm going to position my round nose pliers at the top of my wire, give it a little bend, going to hold that wrap loop with my round nose. Don't worry if you need to reposition that. And with another pair of pliers, I'm just going to bring that round. And I'm going to wrap 2 or 3 times. So I'm just using the 0.6 at the moment. I only need 1 gauge of wire for each type of the spider. I would say that's fabulous. Going to give it a little trim off. And then with my pliers, I'm just going to poke that little loop round. So I've made a little wrapped loop. Tutu says, I'm sorry, but spiders, I just can't. These are very cute though. I'm not a spider fan either. Right, I'm going to cut off my wire. I'm only going to leave a little bit so I can make another wrapped loop. Reposition that there, got stuff everywhere. So I've probably used, in terms of length, maybe 12 centimeters. And then I'm going to make another little wrap loop just next to what's going to be our spider's bum. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a bend, reposition my pliers, bring that wire around my pliers, reposition my pliers again. So I'm keeping my pliers in, I'm just repositioning so I can get that wire around it. And then do it with your tools or do it with your fingers. Just going to bring that round to make another little wrap loop. Give that a little trim off. And then tuck that in. So this is just going to stop the wire coming through that hole in the bead. Am I in shot? I don't think I am. Just going to give it a little tug. Doesn't have to be too neat. And this is going to be the body of my spider. Now I'm going to get my wire again and I'm going to cut some legs. So all I'm going to do is cut some little strips off. I don't think I'm going to need any more than about 14 centimeters. So I'm going to cut about 14 centimeters of my 0.6 wire, and then I'm going to decide what do I want to make his legs with. So you could use seed beads. I've got some Tohos here as well. You could even use some small little pearls. So I would say these are about 3 millimeter. Let's see what these look like. Good morning, Edward. Not seen you for a long time. I hope you're well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little curl at the end of my wire, which is going to be like its little foot. So usually when we curl, I always say pop it in your round nose pliers, and then I'll do the first curl, and then I'll say use some more pliers to flatten it out. The reason why I do that is because, as you see here, if we continue to make that little curl, it will start to make a coil. And that's what we want for this. Just 3 little coils would be fine. Diane says you could use black pipe cleaners for the tarantulas as well if the children are making. Diane, I love that idea. Yes, you absolutely could. So I'm just going to start adding some little beads onto that wire. Will these go on? They will indeed. So all I'm going to do, you could change them up as well. I think if you look at like tarantulas, they tend to have like little bands sometimes on their legs. So you could add some black in with some gold. I really like if you use bugle beads, they create like a long length, and they look great because it gives it that long spindly spider leg look. However, I don't have any bugle beads in black or gold. I've got some in pink, I've got some in blue, orange may have worked, but I don't think, well, I don't know, maybe they would. But I'm just playing about with what I've got in my stash. You could get some tube beads, you could use whatever you want. Diane, I love the idea of pipe cleaners. So let's see, I think I'd like to make that a little bit longer. So let's count how many beads I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that will be enough. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in between where the bead is. So you can see at the moment there's a little bit of space between, and that's great because I'm going to pop my legs on there. So I'm going to take that one length, I'm going to wrap it round the body, and then I'm going to add on exactly the same amount of beads onto the other side. So we had 12, so I'll put 12 on this side too. You could have even used your wooden bead as well if you like, that you had left over. You can use whatever you like. I've done them with all sorts of different beads, all sorts of shapes, all sorts of sizes. I've put one on a headband once. I've made one into a brooch. I wore one as a pendant. So I'm thinking, where's all my spooky stuff gone? I still haven't got things out of the loft. So they're probably up there within my Halloween decorations. I've made skeletons and all sorts. Lucy says, I use big bugle beads with my spider for his legs. I think they would look lovely. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now all I'm going to do is exactly the same. You can trim off if you need to, or I think I will trim it a little bit. All I need to do is put my round nose pliers in the end towards the tip, start to give it a little turn and move that coil each time just below. So at the moment, he doesn't look very spidery, but what you'll find is as you add your legs on, you can start bending them into the position that you want. Looks like a little man at the moment. And you will just carry on like that. I'll do, well, we're going to need 4 because he needs 8 legs. Otherwise, he's not a proper arachnid. I don't know whether I'm going to have time to do this and the other spider, but I will show you the method with it so you have an idea. So again, just going to add a couple of curls onto the end and then start to attach my beads. Diane says, when we made them during COVID, I made a load for my friend to stick on hanging with fishing wire and the windows, all different shapes and sizes. I bet you that looked brilliant. So I'm just adding on my beads. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Again, you can come around the same place. So I'm going to have 2 underneath the bead and 2 sets of legs coming off the top bead. So I'm going to hold it down where I want it with my thumb, bring that wire round and create just 1 loop to tighten around that body. He's already looking a bit more spider-like now. And then add with the beads. So you can see it's something really, really simple, straightforward to do. Maybe, as I say, if you've got little ones as well, you can add this to your festivities. So we used to play duck apple, or what was the one where things are on the string? Don't know what the name was. You'd have random things dangling from strings that you'd have to try and get with your hands behind your back, just using your mouth. Haven't played any Halloween games for quite some time, but it's something nice. I bought my pumpkins yesterday. We ended up with 3. I have no idea what design I'm going to be doing on them just yet. Just going to reposition those beads a little bit. There you go. But yeah, I think every year I always have great plans to do all sorts of wonderful carvings. I never have the time, and I always think it's got to be better than last year. So I get a bit competitive with myself. But when I'm going to have time to do them, I don't know. But I think I could do these with my little one, and he'd quite enjoy making them. He was watching me make one. I made this one last night, and he was itching to play with it. And I was like, no, you can't play with it. Mummy's not finished yet. So he can have my spider when I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm just looking at the time. I think I might start showing you how to do the other one. So you get the idea. I'm going to keep stringing on my beads. Obviously, I'm going to need 4 lengths of wire in total, and I'm going to wrap the others around the top and that middle of the bead as well. At the moment, he looks more like an ant, but you will see when he's done, he'll look very much more like a spider. So let's show you very quickly how to do the other one. Just get my little roller, clean myself up a little bit. Right, so with the next type of spider, which is like this, which doesn't have the beaded legs, he's just got little wire spindly legs. Alison says, super little spider. They're just really cute, aren't they? I am going to finish him off, but I'll probably do it after the live. We've only got 10 minutes. So this time I'm going to use the 0.4mm wire, and I'm going to cut, I would say, about 90 centimetres. I'd say 80 will probably do. So that's 30, 60. So I've cut about 80 to 90 centimetres of my 0.4 wire. I'm then going to bring this round in a little loop. So I've got the 2 tail ends together. And then I'm going to just bring that through one of my beads. So I'm bringing both tail ends through that large bead, and I'm bringing it all the way up to create a loop at the top. Mina says, Natalie, you should watch Facebook Live that Kitty and Sarah did, and Christopher was playing with the beaded spider they made. I remember that. Gosh, that was absolutely years ago. He was probably a little baby on that video. Okay, I'm going to bring up one side of that long length that's coming out of our spider's bum. And I'm going to take it around the bead or underneath the bead. And I'm going to bring it through the loop that we've made. So I'm just bringing it through once and wrap it round to create a little loop. So I would like that quite taut. It is quite a thin gauge wire, so it does look messy as you start off, but don't worry too much. I'm going to move that one out the way. So I've just wrapped that one length around that bead and around what's going to be this little loop. Give that a little pull just to make it a bit smaller. Now I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to measure about 2.5 centimeters. And I'm going to give that wire a little fold over. I'm going to bring it through that loop again. And you can take your time with this so yours will be much neater. We're going to go back through the loop. So this doesn't look like a leg at the moment, but it will do once we've twisted it. So all I'm doing is I keep wrapping once around that loop, bringing it out to about 2.5 centimeters, folding it back over, bringing it through the loop, once around the loop, back down. So all I'm doing now is I'm not measuring, I'm just looking at the other legs that I've started to shape. So I'm just going to use this to create my last leg, because I'll be using the other wire to create the other 4 legs on the other side. Wrapping it once round. And then for this part of the wire, I'm going to measure about 1.5 centimeters. And this is going to be his little pincer. So I'm going to fold that over and just wrap the tail end around a couple of times. Again, now don't worry, it doesn't look spider-like at the moment. That's fine. Just going to tuck that in a little bit. And trim that little excess off. So I've got something which looks nothing like a spider at the moment. And then I'm going to take the other side of that wire that's come from the loop out of his little bottom, and I'm going to bring that round as well. So as I say, you can go underneath the bead if you want to. I'm going to go through the loop and wrap that round once. So I've got one full loop. I'm going to measure about 2.5 centimeters. Fold that over to create the first leg on that side. Back through the loop. Sorry, I'm not in camera there. Bringing it back down to be positioned near the other leg, so they're about the same length. So 2.5 centimeters. Back through the center of the loop. Round once. Back through the middle. Then I'm going to make his third leg. Back through the centre. One more loop around that central loop. And then his last leg, so he's got 4 on each side. I'm doing this very, very quickly, but he is easy to do, and he will neaten up as you start to twist his legs. So that last little loop, then I'm going to make another little pincer, which will be about 1.5 centimetres. And then wrap in just one more time to secure that around that loop, and leave that little tail end sticking up. So it looks like this at the moment. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pliers. I'm going to pinch his little legs together, and I'm just going to start to twist. Don't need to twist too much. But a couple of twists to twist that wire together, and you'll see his spindly little legs start to form. Now you can do it with your fingers as well. And then the next one, just hold it with your pliers. Or if you want to, you can do it with your fingers. So this spider is done with exactly the same gorgeous beads. I'm only using 2 beads for this one, of those lovely silver foiled. And I'm using the 0.4mm wire to create the spindly legs. Whereas the beaded spider, I'm using a little bit of a thicker gauge wire, so I'm using the 0.6 with that one. So you can just pinch the end where his little foot's going to be, and you can twist it that way, or you can twist it with your pliers. And the same with the pincers. If you want, you can just shape them out so they're not twisted. So I'm just running those through my nails. And then on the opposite side, either with your fingers or with your pliers, give them a little twist. So you can see where his legs have been quite wide, and these 2 wires have just been running back on each other. By twisting them together, they start to shape a little better. He is very, very quick. You can take your time on this, and he will look much neater than mine. But as a quick make, I think they're very lovely. So now it's just about shaping those legs where you would like them to be. I tend to find they have, I don't know whether spiders have got knees, but they do tend to bend in the middle. Can someone check has spiders got knees? So you can start to position them. If you want it flat, you can make them flat. If you want them to stand up, you can get them to stand up. Just going to fix that little pincer a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this little bit of wire back through the body. So going through the hole in that top bead, and you can take that back through the other bead and out is bun. And if you want to, you can create another little wrap loop on the top using that little bit of wire, and then you can hang in from something as well. So let me just get my other pair of pliers. Now we'll cut that off and tuck that in. So it's just about playing about with the shape of him now. That little leg looks a bit longer than this one. So there you have some lovely little spiders. Desperately want to finish him off because he's Lucy says they've got 8 knees. I don't know anything really about spiders. I know that they all shed their skin, which really creeps me out. Let me have a little look in the comments because I've been so distracted. I don't even know if I was in shot then. I apologise if I went out of shot. I hope you understood what I was doing. Alison says, super little spider. Yeah, Diane said Christopher was playing with them when Kitty made them. Judith says, love the wire-legged one. That's a great way of doing his legs. His legs won't spin around, which is the issue you've had. Lucy says spiders have got 8 knees, which I love. The most common fact I know is that spiders have 8 legs, while insects have 6, and also spiders have 48 knees, 6 knees on each leg. Judith agrees as well, and Lucy's just Googled it. That's amazing. I love a random fact. I'm going to remember that and then pretend like, some sort of arachnid expert. Camille says, super quick spider and just in time to finish. Have a great weekend, everyone. I am 2 minutes over. I'm really pleased with that. So I didn't show you how to make some lovely earrings, but, get yourself the gorgeous charms. Pop them on a little eye pin, a little earring hook. You've got the simplest, loveliest, gorgeous little earrings. You can make charm bracelets, pendants. You can make spiders. You can make wall hangings. I think we've crammed an awful lot in an hour. Nicole says, really like the spiders. I'll have to give it a go later. And yeah, Judith and Lucy have been on the same page. I'm not counting spiders' knees, Lucy. They don't have a skeleton inside their body. No, I suppose they don't, do they, if they shed the skin? I'm going to be here all day chatting spiders to you. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back with you on Monday. Oh, you wanted to see the pumpkins, didn't you? Okay, bear with me. Now I've got a selection that you can choose from in different wire, in different... We're using gemstones, so there's a selection of gemstones. We've got beautiful cinnabar, we've got a gorgeous amethyst. This one is your hematite. You're going to have to put you back down on the mat very, 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 very quickly. Now, they are the shiniest things in the world, the hematite, which are beautiful, but you're just going to get my ring light reflected on that. So really, really gorgeous, really easy to do. You can make these into brooches as well if you like. Just add in a gorgeous little bit of gemstone chip to make some leaves, but I will show you those properly on Monday. So please come back with me Monday and I will see you then. So have a very, very lovely weekend. Camille, I've showed you the pumpkin. She says it was a lovely tutorial. Nicole says she loves the necklace, so come and join me. I know, Nicole, you love your wire work, so come find me on Monday and we will make those together. I'm all dishevelled now. I think it's about talking about spiders' legs. All right, everybody.